Hello and welcome to Inside the Paddock, live here from the Algarve International Circuit in Portugal, where we are all catching our breaths after a fantastic opening qualifying session of 2023. Marc Marquez, the 8-time world champion, stunning everybody by setting the fastest ever lap of Portimao in the closing moments of the session. We're hoping to catch a quick word, maybe from Marc when he exits the broadcaster set behind me in just a second. But wow, what a lap from Marc. That Honda had absolutely no right to be going around this circuit in a 37.2, but in a slipstream of Bastianini, which he admitted of course did help him, he was able to pull together something quite ridiculous, beating no less than the world champion Pecco Bagnaia. The Ducati man will be starting the Tissot Sprint, the opening one in history, later on this afternoon, 3 o'clock local time, from second on the grid with Jorge Martin, who just passed by me a few moments ago just before we went live. A little bit disappointed despite finishing in third spot. As Marc walks past now, you can see the fans here extremely delighted. What a performance it was from this man, truly proving just how good he is. Might be difficult to grab a quick word with him, impossible unfortunately, but at least we can get a little bit of atmosphere to see Marc walking through after what was a quite ridiculous performance. Pole position for the Spaniards for the Tissot Sprint and the Grand Prix later on today. And we're going to head with him as well, follow you through the paddock to see. The Portuguese fans are loving it here. And you can understand why as well, because Miguel Oliveira put in a quite superb performance too. The RNF man, he's going to be starting from the second row of the grid, giving them a great opportunity to bag a podium. It was the first time that RNF have been in Q2 since all the way back in 2021. Can you believe that? A great result for the new Aprilia RNF squad. As Marc Marquez gets a hero's reception from the fans here in Portugal. Sensational stuff from the 8-time world champion, the number 93, just proving why he's arguably the best to ever throw a leg over a motorcycle. If you've not seen his qualifying lap, please, I urge you, go and check it out. It was ridiculous. He says he's going to be up against it in both the Tissot Sprint later today and in the Grand Prix tomorrow, but you can be guaranteed that Marc Marquez will be giving it his all. What do we think of Marc? There we go. Good to see. There's quite a few fans here for Marc Marquez, given what he was just able to do. Lots of fans for Miguel Oliveira as well. I was in pit lane every time that the number 88 came in. Huge reception for him, which was great to see. And he was able to live up to the billing as well. Second row of the grid, as I said, will put him in great contention. We can see all the fans here behind us just queuing to try and get a glimpse of their Portuguese hero, Miguel Oliveira. In fact, I'm going to see, he probably hasn't left the box yet, so I might be a little bit sneaky actually and see if we can pop down in this direction. And I'm just going to ask the question to see if Miguel has left yet, because if we can grab a quick word with Miguel, then that would be great. There's his crew chief, Donatella Giovanatti, here. So if possible, we might grab a quick word with him in a second. I think Miguel has left. Has Miguel exited the box? Not in the box. In his room at the moment, so probably be chatting away. I think, is it worth chatting away? I might just grab a word with his crew chief in a second once he's just finished having a little coffee over there. But yeah, some performance from Miguel. Needed it as well to put himself in great contention for what we're going to see later on this afternoon and tomorrow as well. Potentially we could have Miguel if it's worth, I don't know, we'll see. It'd be good at least to hear the hero's welcome he gets if he is to exit his box. I'm sure just cooling down after what was an intense period for him. He had to battle his way through Q1 and then get himself into Q2 and put a superb lap together. We're just going to see if he is there and if we can hear from him. No problem if not, because as you can understand, Saturdays now for MotoGP riders are just ridiculously intense, and as a result of that, every opportunity that they have to try and conserve some energy is very much needed. So just a reminder, let me get the full grid out for you after what was a superb session. The front row, Marc Marquez, Pecco Bagnaia, and of course Jorge Martin, who we mentioned earlier. Then we have to look further back onto row 2 of the grid before we find Miguel Oliveira doing a brilliant job to be able to put it 4th on the grid. Ahead of Jack Miller. How could we forget Jack Miller? He was holding on to top spot for quite a while before eventually drifting backwards to 5th. A late crash probably cost him the opportunity to be on the front row, maybe even fight for pole. We'll never know. But that second row of the grid rounded out by Enea Bastianini. Row 3 of the grid, Maverick Vinales, and then a pair of Mooney VR46 bikes in Luca Marini and Marco Bezzecchi. Wilco, how are you? I'm sure extremely happy after that one. Miguel had to fight his way through Q1 and then a brilliant last lap, front of the second row of the grid. I think that's as good as you could have hoped for.
Yeah, more basically. Of course, the second row is fantastic, and I think he did what we failed to do basically over the test days. You know, every time we had a good pace and everything felt good, but when the moment was there to make half a second faster, then something happened, or it was rain, or we crashed, or it was the wrong tire, or whatever. But now, finally P4, we are over the moon.
Of course, now it's all about turning that into points, but to be top Aprilia on the grid must be not only a huge boost of confidence for him, but for the whole team as well.
Yeah, of course, but you see as well how close it is. So, but first of all, you need to be there. Otherwise, it's impossible to get points in the sprint race. So, if you are 4th row, 2nd row, 3rd row, you have chances. But in the meantime, P10 is 0 points. So it's quite hard because number 10 on the grid is very fast. So it's a hard life at the moment with these sprint races, and also the protocols. It's a big risk. The boys are very, very fast. And I'm a little bit worried that we will lose more riders the coming races, and this is not a good sign.
Has Miguel got the pace for victory for the podium? What can we expect from him?
For victory, I think it's difficult, and we also are not really preparing him mentally for that, but he's ready to do that. You know, he did that already in 2020, but it's all about the first 2-3 laps. If he is there with the boys, if he can follow, if the bike feels well, he can win. But if he had to let go the first, for us, top 5 in this sprint race would be already fantastic.
Fantastic. Enjoy this afternoon. Hope it's a good one for you.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, Wilco. Good to catch up with him and get the thoughts. Are we going? Which way are we going here? We're going backwards. We're going backwards. I'm getting pointed fingers to go this way, that way. We'll go this way. Great to chat with Wilco and get a little bit of insight into just how Miguel's feeling after that one. You know, a big change over the winter months to move from the KTM to the Aprilia. A lot of expectation here as well. After crashing yesterday, let's not forget as well, a big one too, to be able to put it 4th on the grid. I'm sure he will be over the moon with that. So I think we're going to head in this direction. If we hear chants or shouts, then we know that someone's walking around. As you can tell, it's pretty busy today, which is good to see. The atmosphere, the buzz in the paddock is as good as it has been for quite some time, which is, for me, having been here most weekends, it is great to see that everybody has come for the sprint, everybody's excited for the sprint, and everybody's hotly anticipating what should be a very interesting 12 laps coming up at 3 o'clock local time. Right, I'm going to introduce you momentarily to a pretty special guest, as we see. One of the VIPs of the paddock, Carlito Panat. Carlo, good to see you. Ciao. What a legend that man is. Always good to say hello to him. A very special guest that have travelled here to Portimao, would you believe it, all the way from Ohio in America for their very first taste of MotoGP here on site. A long way to come. What a way to start off this special trip for them with that qualifying session, one of the most action-packed 15 minutes that we've seen in some times. As we see just over here, this is Jimmy Martinez, the new manager for Marc Marquez that was brought in. I might see if I can grab a quick word with Jimmy, actually. Was brought in instead of Emilio Altamora around halfway through last year. It'd be good to at least get some reaction from the Marc Marquez camp after that one. He's just chatting away at the moment. But he was previously a part of the Red Bull family, working as a sporting director there, and comes across. Jimmy, just a quick word. Can you put into words what Marc just did?
I mean, not sure how to put this into words. I mean, this is he's an alien, basically. This is the only word that I can describe what he just did, and No, as simple as that. I think it's not the reality, because of course the pace is not there yet, because we need to improve some special things with the bike. But I think what he did today is just Marc. Like this.
Nothing more. I mean, it was Marc. He's been telling us all winter, I'm 100% fit, both physically and mentally, and that was proof of that.
Yeah. This is the truth. I mean, he's absolutely on shape. I mean, he's really fit, and that's the most important thing. And now we need to adjust something a bit more with the bike. But I'm pretty sure he will be there this year fighting.
Thank you for your time. Appreciate it. Enjoy this afternoon. Best of luck. Good to get a word with him. A little glimpse behind the scenes. That's actually the first time I've managed to speak to him. It's not often that we get the opportunity to get that little glimmer and little inside scoop into the Marc Marquez camp, and Jimmy gave us that now. He said, I think crucially, the one line that I took away from that is, don't worry, he's going to be fighting all year long. So, promising signs for Marc Marquez. We did think that he was potentially sandbagging to a certain extent through pre-season testing, wasn't throwing a brand new rear tyre at it in those closing moments at Portimao as he looked to try and save his best for the Grand Prix weekend, and he certainly did that as well. Right, now I'm hoping we can introduce you to those special guests I was talking about. My friend and colleague Sophia was just pointing us in the right direction. It's pretty busy, so as a man with not much height, it makes life difficult, but we'll squeeze through. These guys taking photos. Sorry guys, we're here. Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, very good, thank you. So just explain to the guys at home what an adventure this is for you.
This has been a 2-day adventure. We started in Ohio in the US, flew all the way over here, took the train south, and was just expecting to go to the race tomorrow, and now here we are today, back in the paddock.
And for your first ever Grand Prix, that qualifying was quite good, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was very good. It was fun.
Are you a big Marc fan?
Yeah.
Marc Marquez?
Yeah.
Who else are you supporting?
Fabio.
Is Fabio your favourite?
Yeah.
Okay, I think he's got some work to do this afternoon, but I think he can do it. He's been determined before. Who else are you hoping to see up there?
Probably Fabio, Marc Marquez, and who else? Juan, Mir.
I think. Have you managed to meet Joan?
We did get to meet
You did?
Joan.
Wow. And what did you think? He's a lovely guy.
A very nice guy. What an experience to be in the garage with him and see that, and then see the bikes, see him. It was quite an experience.
So Joan won't be happy now that you've met him, and Fabio's still your favourite. Has Joan taken top spot?
Yeah. He's getting there.
We're tied. It's tied. Maybe Fabio just a little bit ahead, but we'll save that. Did you like Joan? He's one of my favourite people in the paddock. Always so smiling.
Yeah, he's really nice. I like him.
It's great to see you anyway. Where are you going to be watching the sprint from?
We're not sure yet. We're going to keep cruising around. We might check out the front straightaway a little bit, or come in the back here. We're not sure.
Well, wherever you do, it's going to be good. And tomorrow, who you think's going to win? I mean, I know you love Fabio, but we need you to put your expert hat on here. Who are you thinking, Dad?
I'm going to go Marc.
Marc for the win, okay. Who are we going?
He's back.
Officially, we heard it here first. Marc Marquez is back.
I agree with Marc. I think he'll win.
There we go. Marc Marquez double tomorrow. You heard it here first. Great to meet you both.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy MotoGP. Pleasure to have you here. We need to get a new T-shirt for you, though. That's the wrong kind of motorsport, that. We need a 2-wheel one, not the 4-wheel one. We'll get a T-shirt sorted for you. Great to see you both. Enjoy it, and hopefully see you in Austin, maybe? No? Okay.
That's why we're here instead.
Exactly. And the sun's shining. What better place to be? Exactly. Lovely. Great to see those guys making all the way from Ohio, was it? Some trip that. Fair play. It was a lot longer than me coming from Barcelona. But we've got to do it. I've got to go to Argentina. I know it's not a pity party, but it is a long way to go. But yeah, great to see new fans for MotoGP all the way from Ohio as well, cheering on both Fabio and Marc. And unsurprisingly, there's a lot of people here cheering on Marc after some performance from him. We've seen the guys queuing up by the Repsol Honda garage, trying to cheer him on, trying to give him some encouragement, because they're expectant. There's a big crowd here today, and the two names on everybody's lips are Marc Marquez and Miguel Oliveira. Can the pair of them put it first and second in the Tissot Sprint. I think the roof would come off this place if they were able to. Probably with Miguel first and Marc second, given the allegiances that most of these guys have. But an incredible Saturday has only just begun. Moto 3, Moto 2 qualifying coming up as Alicia Spargo goes past. Are we going to be able to get a word? I think we might struggle. I was going to wrap up, but Alicia's there. We might have to run. Oh, we've got Jack as well. We've got Jack. Let me see if I can grab a very, very, very quick word with Jack. Can I squeeze in? Sorry, guys. Sorry. Jack, can I grab a very quick word once he's done the photos with all the fans? Great to see so many here. Yeah, not bad, mate. Just want to check how you are after the off. He's not bad, he's not bad. He proved that yesterday wasn't a fluke, mate. That was some lap first time out. Do you think with another run at it, you could have challenged for pole or the front row?
Yeah, definitely. I nailed the first 2 corners, just didn't make it past the third one. No, I felt really, really good, really comfortable on the bike. We made a couple little changes. The pace this morning was a lot better on the used soft, so it'll be interesting to see what we can do this afternoon with the sprint race. I don't really know which way to take it or which way to approach it, but we'll just go at it with full attack, and then we'll learn from whatever happens today. If it's good, we'll keep it going, but if it's not good, then we'll go back to the drawing board. But no, it's been a good weekend thus far. You know, even with the little fall. Sorry to the boys for scratching the nice shiny new bike, but no, we're there, we're challenging, so that's the most important part.
I know I'm going to be looking at the 43 from the middle of the second row later. I guess it's elbows out. It's the only way to attack it, right?
Yeah, definitely. No, the KTM seems to get off the line pretty good. When I can get the front device engaged, so fingers crossed I get that right and I don't panic too much. And no, I think we should be right come race time.
Good to see you okay, Jack. Best of luck this afternoon. Great to catch up with Jack Miller there. And I think with that, we can round up a pretty frantic Inside the Paddock. With this new format, you don't want to be missing Inside the Paddocks on Saturdays. Now we're going to be coming live pretty much exactly as MotoGP Q2 concludes. We'll be getting instant reaction from riders, from team managers, from anybody we can, feeling the atmosphere of the paddock as well. Saturdays are unmissable in MotoGP now. With Inside the Paddock, just another little bit of flavour to add to it. As I was about to say before we got the opportunity to chat with Jack, Moto 3 qualifying coming up, followed by Moto 2 qualifying. And then the big one, history to be made here in Portugal, the Tissot Sprint from 3 o'clock local time. Set your alarms now, do not miss it. Marc Marquez from pole position, home hero Miguel Oliveira from 4th. It's going to be fantastic. We'll see you there. Inside the Paddock will be back in 6 days' time from Argentina. Tune in then. Bye.